been pushing so very hard. And actually, he shows himself, so not going to be a lane gank at all. He just helps push back the lane, I guess.
Yeah, we're going to see that Reginald going to keep trying to hold mid, but blue buff Kennen spamming pretty hard here. And I think they have the timer on the blue. Blue should be about a minute and a half away still, because they got it around 13 minutes-ish. But that could be a pretty big priority around the same time as Dragon, actually, which will be interesting.
Yep, that will be the next big fight if TSM, so if M5 even have the time. You see, I am so used to M5 picking up all the buffs that I assumed they had Dragon, but of course it was TSM who picked up that first Dragon with M5 just not in position. They did have a ward there, so they should have the timer for that Dragon, and that should be the trigger for the next bigger fight. And it looks like in bottom lane they want to at least either chip one of them down to low health or take the turret or get some other form of advantage that will make the Dragon fight easier for them right now.
Yeah, but you can see the odd one has oracles now, so he's going to start ward sweeping for his team. Look over at Diamonds, and he does not, though they did just drop a pink ward down at Dragon, so they do know about that coming up very soon, just 30 seconds away. These teams are going to start grouping up and getting ready for that kind of fight. Another pink ward actually just was grabbed here by Janna. You can see her walking out from the base. And just kind of relying on 1,500 health, which doesn't really suck, actually, and see if the rest of the team can make this effort happen.
Kog'Maw really wanted to have maximum power right now. We saw him go back to base, buy a pickaxe to go along with his BF sword, and then he waited a little bit and bought an additional Doran's blade, because he just wants to have all his money invested into power right now, because that next fight, every little bit of damage could help, and we actually have a pause going down here right now, so not entirely sure what's going on. I don't see anything in the chat at the moment. I'm sure that an admin is going to tell us very soon what's happening. It may be some further case of hardware issues. We had that before, unfortunately, with M5 versus Curse, where I think they had to swap out some hardware. So actually the game's already been unpaused. Play will resume. So that was easy.
Not too bad. Okay,
that
fair
was
enough.
Not too bad.
Game on.
No one died.
And we still got, actually, Moscow 5 grouping up towards the Dragon right now, and they're just jumping into it right away. And Solomon not even making a move to stop them. They're like, yeah, you got us.
That's interesting, because, yeah, like I said, Chaos just invested all that money into maximum efficiency right now, and then they do nothing with it. I think they were just caught out of position there.
Yeah, Rayman got some turret pressure up at the top. I mean, you know they would have had to call that. They got the last Dragon kill. You know they would have timed that and said, hey, guys, it's going to be in 30 seconds. It's going to be soon. It's going to be soon. Never mind. I would have hoped for Sulamid's sake that Rayman was a little bit more deadly and actually picked up the turret kill for it. See, that's not going to be the case here. But oftentimes you'll see, if a team sends all 5 members down, especially if their solo top does not have teleport, they'll send everyone, or at least 1 to 2 members, just to top and just go for a turret kill, and just let those sort of equalize. And the gold values are not far apart there. It's not too bad to do that. But Moscow 5 are getting an unanswered Dragon, in addition to 2 turret kills now, are up almost 2,000 gold. This was a game where Sulamid started out with a 2-to-1 first blood kill plus Dragon. Moscow 5 was like, oh, you got an advantage?
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter at all. Not one bit. Ashe is going for the BF sword after seal, so there's not going to be a lantern in that build. You were right, after all. She is going to go for that Infinity Edge. Infinity Edge also the target on Kog'Maw. He has the Vampiric Scepter. He's just going to keep that in his inventory until very late game, when he will probably turn to a Bloodthirster. It's just nice to have that little bit of lifesteal just for the sustain, and maybe it'll be just that one little factor that'll keep you alive in a team fight, and that's nice too. Not dying is pretty good. I speak from experience.
Yeah. Experience of not dying?
Yeah.
That surprises me.
In life, in real life, not in the game.
Oh, okay.
Not in the game.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. I mean, death is the best CC, so you never know.
Pretty much.
It's like some more farming going out from Kennen. Moscow 5 really just gearing up for gold income right now. I gotta like their build though. So they got the double of the Ancients, as you mentioned earlier, right? The AP stack there from Mill of the Ancients. But the other cool thing is they've also got this Kennen rushing for what might be an Abyssal Scepter. So you grab the very, very fast Negatron Cloak here, and if I'm guessing right, he's gonna go Abyssal Scepter and lower the magic resist even further the enemy team, so that he and Vladimir can deal even more damage. And you look at them, and they both went Sorcerer's Shoes, so they really are kind of gearing for just straight up burst damage. Very, very AoE heavy as well. Vladimir, Kennen, their ults synergize quite well.
And tell me this, on support, I know that normally the discussion is, do you go 2 gold per 10 items or 3 gold per 10 items? Like on Sona Soraka, do you build a Cage's lucky pick or not? And it looks like this Janna literally just needs the Heart of Gold, because she just built a Kindle Gem next, so she's not even going to turn the Fairy Charm into a Philosopher's Stone. Does that make sense?
No, she wants the Shirelia's Reverie and wants as much durability as possible, and it's actually, this is a very pervasive playstyle for the Moscow 5 players, and a lot of these EU supports as well, is they're actually running, armor, magic resist, flat health for runes, and not like armor, gold per 10, armor, gold per 10. So they're very much interested in being tanky and being in those fights, and it's actually pretty telling the way they sort of play these games is very in your face, very battle oriented, and honestly a Janna with HP coins is going to fight better than a Janna with gold per 10 coins, and that's kind of what they're going for here.
That is true, absolutely. You want to blow up what? Really? 21-minute Baron right now off of no advantage? That is a very, very ballsy play right there, and they're kind of baited Raymond in, and the flash from Alex Ish, but unfortunately Raymond flashes as well, but the Ashe arrow catches him, and that should be a dead Irelia right there. No! Yes! Sorry, I thought he got away there for a second, and well done on M5. That was another Dragon fight forced. It wasn't even a fight, it was just baiting Raymond out a little bit too far and then going on him so very, very aggressively.
Yep, this is a tactic that Moscow 5 has used many times, which is go for an objective you don't expect to get. You just do it to force a fight and say, we know our positioning, we know our team fight strategy is better than yours, and it's worked out here, and it's worked out many times before. Original does bait, actually, that Vladimir ult out, does get away from the fight. They've stopped Baron so far. Alex taking a bit of damage here. Special could lead in with a slow, but might be a silly mistake to do that. Alex taking some damage, looks like. Yep, Solomid gonna be okay just to chill and hide towards the back.
Reginald had to use his ultimate as well as soon as the Vlad ultimate came up, but I think he was happy enough to use the ultimate just to stay safe, because everything TSM wanted to do there was just keep them from doing Baron, obviously, and not die more. That was another kill pickup for Moscow 5, who now have a 1.5k gold advantage.
Yep, and they are just growing this lead, and that's just really, really awesome for them. But 1,500 gold when both teams have about 30,000 is not a significant, push in your favor. They are technically winning, but this is really, really open to any team to grab this one. It really can't go either way, and you can kind of just see that they're playing super cautiously, Solomid especially, except for Rayman getting covered there, which I think was just, honestly, just a little bit too much overextension. Generally speaking, Solomid are doing a very good job of not getting caught out by the aggressive play of Moscow 5.
And that was definitely the bait there, to just hope that maybe one of them would step out a little bit too far. Raymond wanted to go in there right away and just be a threat. And he didn't expect, I think, Alex to flash on him. He had his flash up as well, but it just wasn't quite enough there. This is looking, though, I think it's looking very good for M5, because just inherently their comp just works so much better for an all-out team fight. You have the Vladimir ultimate, Kennen ultimate on top of that, and then you have both Lee Sin and Ashe who can clean up very, very nicely after all of that is done, and with the double voter, if the two mages just survive that initial phase of the team fight, once there's not that many enemies left, they will just out-sustain even that very tanky setup from TSM. Whereas TSM are pretty much all about just poking maybe with Reginald and then having Chaos do lots and lots of damage with his Cogmore, but that isn't really happening quite yet.
Dragon's going to be really, really soon here. They're actually grouping up. They've already pink warded it. There's the spawn, and immediately Diamond, Alex, and Darian are going for it. Solomid not controlling this at all. They don't actually have, they do have clairvoyance. They just pop that down. You see they're going for it. They're going to know the respawn, 30-55. And they're gonna posture for Baron here. I don't think they can get it in time though. They know it's dead. They know the team's moving back over.
I think they're just sweeping wards and actually waiting in the brush here. They're trying to bait the enemy team. They're trying to bait M5 into coming there and getting a team fight.
Though.
Yeah, and Kennen was just there with Vladimir, so you don't want to stand that near, that close together, especially in a constricted space like that against these two alties. Yeah, so that was a somewhat risky move, and they did abort there and just fall back into their own forest.
And you get to see that this Moscow 5 team still have not bought oracles. They're just relying on pink wards everywhere. You can see they've got a number of them across the map, and they're sweeping wards that way. But you gotta, think for Solomid, if Oddwin could just get to those pink wards, I mean, they're investing 125 gold in each pink ward. Yep. And this oracles at this point has probably paid off for itself. He's probably swept enough wards that was pretty much an efficient buy.
At least in the amount of money that it cost the enemy team. Probably he didn't earn back the cost in 25 gold instances quite yet.
I don't think he's killed 16 wards now.
Yes, no. Wow, that was quick math there. Well done.
Thank you.
In mid lane we see Alex pushing forward a little bit. there doesn't seem to be one specific strategy that M5 are doing right now. They're just farming up still. I think they're probably waiting for the next big objective to spawn, and that may be an objective in TSM's forest, where they may want to force a fight right now. I'm not sure if they have the timer on the enemy blue, but Ahri, as a very spammy sort of pokey AP champion, does a lot better with the blue. And they may want to take it away, or they may just want to siege in mid lane. Yep, and there's the Ashe arrow going down, Reginald. That's the ideal catch right there. Vladimir Altman is down on him. May actually be enough once it triggers. Let's see if he survives. No, it does not. And M5, Alex is actually picking up another kill there for himself. Nunu is going down as well. Altman has to flash out. Is very, very low on his turret and picked up by Darian. Everybody is still alive and pretty healthy from M5. Perfect Team 5 freak. What happened there for TSM?
Well, they landed an amazing Ashe arrow that opened it up. They pretty much just destroyed Reginald. And honestly, Reginald has not been nearly as scary as Kennen and Vladimir. And so, you know, when he's not able to really get in there and be a big assassin and jump on anyone, they kind of just got to run in there and just deal a whole heck of a lot of damage. Kennen and Vlad just jumped in there, hit really hard, and then, you know, because the front line died so fast for Solamid, Kog'Maw couldn't be that big damage threat. And actually now, in trying to stop Baron, taking a fair amount of damage. There's the Baron blown up. It's going to be a 34-30 respawn on that. KX did a good job of getting away from that thanks to the stun from the Rain Man, but yeah, this is not looking good for Solamid anymore.
Yeah, that would mean that they would be 1-2 in their group, wouldn't they?
Yeah, Solamid 1-1 so far.
Yeah. That is definitely not something that anyone expected TSM to do here. I mean, even for me, people always say I have a bias for Europe, which is totally not true. Even I expected TSM would just, you know, probably go 4-1 or something in their group. They looked really strong going into this. M5 are still playing their own kind of game. And if we just look at the top and mid lane of M5, like you said very early on, both with the Sorg shoes, they're just all out offensive. I mean, yeah, there is the Abyssal Scepter from Kennen. Yeah, there is the passive from Vlad that gives him a little bit of extra health. But still, this is a super aggressive setup, and they're just making it work for them because they just connect those ultis perfectly and get enough kill pickups that TSM don't have to burst anymore to take any one of these mages out. And if you don't have to burst to take a dual AP, dual Vota setup out, then they're just going to be a real pain to deal with.
Yep, absolutely the case here. And, you know, again, this dual AP, it's fine, you know, for Solamid to fight against us because they've got Kog'Maw, and Kog'Maw, probably the most well-equipped champion to destroy Vladimir. Vladimir, look at him, he's got 2,700 health and no MR except for an Aegis of the Legion on his team. Like, this is like the perfect champion for a Kog'Maw to melt. And they cannot protect KX well enough. Everyone else is dying too quickly.
Yeah. And I don't know if it's down to KX positioning or just the team not being strong enough right now to get in M5's face and saying, you stay away from our Kog'Maw. I've not actually seen KX in this position, so he seems to be playing a good game, but it's just not going in TSM's favor enough. There is a strong gold lead right now for M5, and Diamond trying to get that resonating strike across the wall. What was the first half of it called?
Sonic Wave.
Sonic Wave, there we go. Sonic Wave. Trying to get a Sonic Wave there across the wall. And there's the Ashe arrow down on Nunu right now. Alex is going in with his ultimate immediately. Nunu proccing the Irelia. It's not going to save himself. And Reginald actually getting a stun there on himself as well, but he used his ultimate so he can jump 2 more times. Diamond actually going down to Chaos. Finally a kill there for Kog'Maw. Rainman very low, picked up very quickly by Darian as well, who is having a great game right now. And Alex is still chasing down on Reginald, actually picking him up, and Chaos is chased out of his own base. Worst feeling in the world. Alex is going to go down to the passive there, and that's 500 gold, so that's nice, but you just got chased out of your own base and killed.
Yep, and again, this team just so good at dealing damage. You saw Darian kind of get in there under the turret, and when he finally came out of Bloodpool, Kog'Maw's Bioarcane Barrage had ended. The timer was gone, so he was not able to spit out so much damage anymore. He did a good job melting that first kill. He got the kill onto that Lee Sin right away. He did fall pretty quickly, but no one else was left after that. It was pretty much like, okay, well, now it's a 4v1, so sorry, Kog'Maw, but it's not going to work for you.
It doesn't look like TSM can defend this, so it looks like M5 once again victorious against TSM. Let's hear it for the Russians from M5. And there we see them sitting right now, looking rather intense considering they just won such a strong game. But I see a hit